represented District 25, which is the largest district in the state, which sold most drugs, had the most returned prisoners to the county, and the lowest job rate in the county. Since that time, I have been fortunate enough to lead the march for the drug court. I take credit for that. Judge Diane Cagle and I visited Lexington County and Greenville County, and she said, because of my job, I can't make a lot of contacts, but I back you. So I did the legwork and the book work, and we were able to get that program. It is very successful, and many people come off drugs through that court. In addition to that, I helped write a grant for Serenity Place. Serenity Place is a place where mothers stay, and they can keep their children up to age 5 while they're there. It's a very successful, very unique place for mothers on drugs with their children during this period. In addition to that, I worked with the Alcohol and Drug Commission. We were able to move from Buffalo Road to Cleveland Street. We have expanded that facility, and we're looking for additional facility where we can keep those persons that are on drugs and alcohol for over 28 days, which most of you know does not really get to the bottom of the drug problem. I'm happy to say that I oversaw the writing of a grant for White Horse Academy, which is a unique drug facility for kids 12 to 17. Presently, we have a waiting list. We have 16 boys that we care for on an annual basis or 2 years, whatever it takes to get them off drugs. In addition to that, I have worked with visiting different kinds of industry at Donaldson Center, Tech, where I have tried to lobby jobs for persons returning from the prison system. I have attended hearings and provided support service to people in crime. I've worked for education in District 25, and I have been recognized for that, where the kids said, without you, there's no us. And they were able to accomplish their dream by winning first place in Kansas City, Missouri. I think I have been a friend to people in District 25. I know that I work with them. I don't pick on them. I take them who are calls first, get served first. I ask my opposition, what is it that I have not done that you feel you can do for a reason to offer against me? Now, because I come out of a civil rights background, I said to this person, I would be hypocritical if I said, don't run. I want him to run. I want to know the challenges in 25, but I have yet to know what he's offering. County Council does not provide money for restaurants. They don't do businesses. We oversee a budget of $198 million. We've handled tax money. We have not had a tax raise since '92. I supported the AAA credit bonding. I continue to support it. Unfortunately, I don't keep my mouth closed when I think about things. I just want to say that I offer commitment, dedication, and experience. I ask your vote on November 6th. Thank you.
Okay, we're moving along to Greenville County School Board Trustees, District 17. We have a person who has an undergraduate degree at Duke University and a law degree from Emory University in Columbia, and has the only candidate that's running that has children in the Greenville County school system, and that is Joy Grayson.
Hello, everybody. Y'all have been very patient, and I appreciate you coming tonight. My name is Joy Grayson, and I am running for a school board in District 17 for Tommy Reese's seat. When good leaders move on, somebody has to step up. Emory's in Atlanta, by the way. And I did go to law school. I'm running for school board because I support our public schools. Public schools made me what I am today. I got a full scholarship to law school based in large part on on South Carolina schools. And at some point, you have to turn around and give back to our community. I went to school in Greenwood, South Carolina, up the road. My mother was on the school board there 30 years ago. I do have kids in elementary school, and my middle schoolers showed up in the back room. I'm very passionate about public schools, and I've been basically following the job of school board trustee for the last 7 years while my kids have been in school. I've been studying the laws and studying how they affect our kids in our classrooms. And it bothers me. It bothers me a lot. I believe that we need to educate all of our children in Greenville County, not just a few. I believe there's a movement afoot in Greenville County to divert money from public taxpayer dollars to private education. I believe we have school choice in Greenville County. We have District 17 is a large geographical area. It goes all the way from Carrydale all the way up to the North Carolina line, and I'm right in the middle of it. And I'm in the middle of it because the lines have changed. Basically, the school district lines moved 45 degrees clockwise. Up until last year, I was in Chuck Saylor's district. I have met with school board members, I've met with principals, I've met with educators, I've met with anybody that will talk to me about public schools. I believe that public schools I believe that public schools are the key to economic development in this country, in this county. We cannot get from where we are today to where we need to be without educating our kids. Dollars spent today will save dollars down the road. I'm tired of people saying that the school board is not doing a good job. I'm tired of hearing people say that money is being wasted. Greenville County spends 1.5% of its budget on administrative costs. This has gone by a lot sooner than I had thought. As you can tell, I'm very, very, very emotional about this stuff. Please come talk to me afterwards. I'm the only one with kids in the school. I'm the only one that's interested in public schools that's running in District 17. This is an extremely important election, and I urge you to follow it or to find somebody that you trust and know and ask them about school board before you vote November 6th. Thank you.
Okay, we're moving along to District 19, and first we have incumbent Debbie Bush.
Thank you. Thank you for hanging out this evening so long without a break even. I hope you've been able to excuse yourself from the room. I want to thank our hosts also this evening for sponsoring this event and the opportunity for those of us holding those offices already to speak. I currently serve as the District 19 board member. I've been blessed, honored, and privileged to represent my community for 4 terms. Our challenges that were given to us tonight for this forum were very simple. Share what makes us the best qualified candidate. The difficulty comes in the fact that I have to do that in 5 minutes. First, I'll focus on the differences in candidates for the District 19 race. I was born and raised in Greenville County on a mill village. Both of my parents worked in the mill back when the heritage of Greenville was the textile capital of the world. My mother holds one of those coveted PhDs, which many of you native Greenvillians will know stands for Parker High Diploma. I am a proud graduate of Greenville County Schools. I married a Southern gentleman, a true Greenville County native, and there aren't many of those left. We invested in our future. We invested in our community by establishing and building a small business in our community. We own Expressions Unlimited. It's a florist and gift store. We have 3 locations in Greenville County. But our greatest investment I'm going to talk about tonight is the fact that both of our children were in public schools. That was where I felt my on-the-job training began for my school board service. It began innocently enough as a room mother, and then PTA volunteer, and it led over the years to serve as a PTA officer, PTA president, school improvement counselor, band booster, athletic booster, and I'll stop the list there. Both my husband and I have partnered and spent many years volunteering in our children's public schools. Did I say public schools? I just want to make sure I emphasize that. What a return on our investment. A fabulous return. With those public school diplomas, they both went on to attend Furman University. My daughter joined our family business. She manages and uses her integrated technology skills to bring our business into this century. She also takes and makes sacrifices so that I could be here with you tonight while she's there locking up the store. She's there opening our business in the morning so that I can go to breakfast out in our public school system. And so she has made a great sacrifice for my public school board service. My son, after graduating from Furman on a full scholarship, went on to Duke University, also on a full scholarship, earning his doctorate, his true PhD in chemistry, and is now an analytical scientist. Did I say that they both attended public school? Those same community schools that last week my opponents in District 19 labeled as failures, the ones where more than 98% of our classroom teachers are rated as highly qualified, where Greenville County Schools ranks 13th in the nation out of 14,000 different school districts for the total number of national board certified teachers, where the number of students in our high schools taking more rigorous and advanced AP courses and getting that college credit for it and scoring more than 3 on those tests have almost tripled over the last few years. Last year, those college graduates took $95 million in last year alone, $95 million in college scholarships they earned. Our average SAT scores outperform the state. Our average ACT outperforms the nation. I encourage you to visit our website. Better than that, visit your local school and see all of the success stories that are going on in our Greenville County schools. I only wish the other candidates for school board were out in those schools. I wish they would join all of our public, our PTA volunteers and the thousands of hours that were given last year. It's easy to campaign for a few weeks, talk about smaller government, put up signs, and go door to door and label our community schools a failure. I've proudly spent more than half of my life passionately supporting our public schools. I've served as secretary, chairman, and currently as vice chair. I was the first woman from Greenville County to be elected president of the South Carolina School Boards Association. My actions, I believe, truly speak louder than words in a political campaign. My bus represents building unlimited success. I ask not only for your vote on November the 6th, but for your continued support in building unlimited success in our Greenville County schools. Thank you. I did get it in 5 minutes. That was the big challenge. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I just want to say also, Debbie, I didn't snub you on the bio when you came up. I just didn't have a sheet with it on there.
Apparently it was one of those ones that was too long, so there's something to be said for experience.
Blame him because he passed them out. So, but I just didn't have it in front of me to say it. So. Okay, next we have another competitor for the same seat, District 19. Has a civil engineering degree from Citadel and has 2 children, I believe, in the school system now. That's Ryan Rafalski.
We don't have Ryan Rafalski today.
Okay, for the same district, 19, we have a guy who actually, I remember, I ran many years ago for school board, and you were running in a different district, but we kind of ran together, so I remember you. Bachelor of Science in Mathematics from Mars Hill College, Master's of Business Administration from Western Carolina University, and worked 22 years for the district, starting out as a manager of budgets and left as an internal auditor. And that's Charles Edward Winfield.
This is my certificate I earned, thanks to the school district, for internal auditing. Internal auditors are, well, it's a pain being an internal auditor because everybody expects you to find something wrong. Well, we have in Greenville County perhaps one of the best school districts around. We have what can be the best public school system in the Southeast. However, one of my tasks as an internal auditor was seeking out evidences of fraud. And I want to read to you this thing I've written here. I estimate that over the last 8 years, the school board has allowed the theft of $250 million from the teachers, students, and taxpayers of Greenville County by not increasing classroom expenditures. In May of 2005, the South Carolina House of Representatives passed a bill worded as follows: to amend the Code of Laws of South Carolina in 1976 by adding section 59-17-160 so as to provide that at least 65% of the educational operational budget of each school must be used in classroom instruction. Now this was passed by the House. Unfortunately, it's gotten pigeonholed in the, I think, the House Ways and Means Committee. But it's still $250 million. That's 25 with 7 zeros behind it. 25, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, $250 million. $250 million that should have been spent in our classrooms. Should have been spent for teacher raises, or reduce the school millage, or perhaps implement 1 laptop per child. Now, 1 laptop per child is a particular program that I am in favor of. It would involve issuing to every child a laptop computer, for every appropriate child. That's primarily elementary school age children. Let's see. Let's talk about this $250 million again. These funds cannot be recovered since they've already been spent on excessive administrative items. $250 million. What could our teachers done with $250 million over the last 8 years? Could have had some better classrooms. Could have had some more instructional supplies. Could have had some more classrooms. That's a lot of money, you know. But that's just, it's gone. So we're unable at this point to recover that amount of money. What we have to do now is go forward and make the school district the best school system in the Southeast. Now, the problem we have with the school system is the attitude of some of the school people. Some of the board members who feel that everything they do is right. Now, this has got to change. We've got to be willing to work together and to not have this attitude. If you want, I've got some of these. This morning I was talking to Mr. Knox, the Director of Finance. He says the current fund balance is $54 million. That's a lot of money. But that would be enough to finance the startup of this laptop per child. One laptop, imagine your child bringing home a small computer. Computer that was served by a server in the school so that we could restrict internet access and that kind of thing. But still, $250 million. Do you believe it? I'm an auditor, an internal auditor. And I speak the truth. Whatever you want to say about me. You know, I'm not a good speaker, but I tell the truth. $250 million.
All right, let's turn our attention to School District 23. Our first candidate is incumbent Glenda Morrison Fair.
Thank you so much. I must get you one of those plaques. I am Glenda Morrison Fair, and I want to do a little change tonight. I've heard so much doom and gloom, but in spite of the national outlook and what you hear and read, the Greenville County School District has always had a balanced budget. So the school district that you're hearing about tonight is a school district that is forward-thinking. Let me introduce myself. I am Glenda Morrison Fair, a champion for the silent voices in the community, our children. I am a native of Greenville, South Carolina, educated in the Greenville County Schools. I come to the Greenville County School Board with a degree in mathematics, 19 years in designing computer software, and 20+ years as a classroom teacher. I would like to say tonight, in less than 5 minutes, that Greenville County Schools has a formula. You hear today most people say, well, what are you going to do and how are you going to do it? Well, Greenville County not only has said what they're going to do, but they have a 5-point plan as to how to do it. And the #1 goal is to raise the academic standards of our children, and we have committed resources, time, energy, and personnel toward doing that. As you heard tonight from some of our other speakers, we are on top of the nation in our ACT scores, and it's probably one of the best kept secrets, even our SAT scores. We have students coming from other counties just to enter Greenville County schools because of what we have to offer. We have choice in the Greenville County School District, and so parents have an opportunity to allow their students to go to the schools that magnify or that promote the gifts in the different children. Again, I am Glenda Morrison Fair, an advocate for Greenville County schools and the students in the Greenville County school community. I bring experience, insight, and integrity to this job. And let me say before I leave tonight, one of the goals is to be an advocate for public education and to promote public awareness of the Greenville County schools. If we failed at anything, as I listened tonight, we need to promote public awareness because Greenville County schools is tops in the state of South Carolina, and I feel like in the nation. Thank you.
Her opponent in this race is Seth Powell, who's a working-class father with a 2-year-old daughter. He says having attended the Greenville County schools, he can experience what the good and the bad was. Mr. Powell.
Good evening, everybody. I am Seth Powell. I'm running for the Greenville County School Board in Area 23. Usually when I introduce myself as a candidate, people usually take a step back they kind of give me the one-over, and they say, you don't usually look like a typical politician. And there may be people here tonight that feel the same way. Well, my answer to that, with all due respect, guys, is good. I don't have any intention of being a typical politician. As Eric said, I come tonight as a working-class father who wants what's best for his daughter. And I struggle every day with the desire to heap the treasures of the world upon her. But I have to live within what I call the reality of the checkbook. My father told me one time that the reality check I'll remember most vividly is the one that bounces. And so I'm trying my best to avoid that wake-up call. I think that desire and that balance I try to seek as a father is what the school board on a county level represents. It's the desire to provide our children with the best, but to also live within our means. And I'm running for the Greenville County School Board because I regrettably feel that the board hasn't found that correct balance. Now, we've heard tonight that Greenville County schools are fantastic. That it's wonderful. We're doing the best we can. But when I'm going door to door and talking to parents, that's not what they say. And when I'm going in the schools and talking to teachers, that's not what they say. They say we can do better. But most importantly, it's not what the numbers say. And we've heard a lot of statistics thrown around. Our high unemployment number, our high crime rate. That ties directly into the fact that last year, Greenville County, as great as it may be, graduated 73% of its students on time. Now, we can all agree that graduating high school on time is a fundamental stepping stone to achieving economic success. And yet 1 in 4 in Greenville County don't get that done. And it's not because teachers don't work hard, don't get me wrong. It's not because that we're not trying. It's because what we're doing, what we've been doing, isn't working. And we can do better and we deserve better. But what can we do to do better? Because I don't want to be one of these people who says, what you've done is awful. What are the areas that we can improve upon? The first area I think we can improve upon would be I want to integrate more technology into the education system on a cost savings basis. Now, both parts of that statement are important. Technology allows us to do more. When we integrate it on a cost savings basis, it allows us to do more with less. Secondly, I want to engage, not inform, but engage the community and the public, parents and churches, because there are some problems that we face as a system that we can't fix alone. It'll take the community engaging across the board effort to get the job done. And I want to see that collaboration take place, and I'll offer leadership to get that done. Third, I want to keep property taxes stable for our working class families and for our small businesses. Now, year after year after year, we increase our property tax millage rate, and yet our funding crisis, as they call it, continues. So maybe property tax increases isn't the answer. Maybe instead of asking small business and working class families to do more with less, the board needs to learn to do more with less. Fourth, I want to target at-risk students with aggressive programs to make them reading at a proficient level by grade 3. So what we find out is that the ones who only graduate on time are the ones who fell behind early, and they end up finding an uphill battle their entire life. But if we can target these students early, aggressively, and make sure we raise the standard of reading, we put them on a path to success. And I believe it's important that we do so. Fifth, I want to empower our teachers and reduce the bureaucratic red tape. Right now we have administrators in schools that are meant to take care of behavioral issues. And yet, as someone who grew up in those classrooms, I know the bad apples don't get taken care of at the administrative level. Somehow they find themselves back into the classroom, and it disrupts the process for all. We need to make sure our teachers have the power to deal with those problems. I think that if we do implement those 5 areas, and we see success in those 5 areas, we'll not only have a more effective and more efficient system, but one that we can all be proud of, and one that parents, one of the teachers, one of the school board members, and statistics all agree that we're doing a good job. Once again, I'm Seth Powell. I'm running for the Greenville County School Board in Area 23. I would appreciate your vote and your consideration. Appreciate it.
District 25, Mr. Kenneth Baxter, graduate from Voorhees College in Organizational Management and a Master's of Education in Columbia College.
Thank you so much for inviting me tonight, and thank you guys for putting this thing together, giving a forum for candidates to speak on the issues. Today, he said I graduated from Boys College and got a master's in education from Columbia College, which I did not know was an all-girls school. But I soon found out when I tried to go to alumni functions. But anyway, I taught at Carolina High School for 8 years in the special education department. That's when I found out how much patience it takes to be a classroom teacher. And being a logistics manager for Bell South, I had all the answers for everything because I could say things in Greenville and things would happen in North Carolina without me even thinking about it. In the classroom, it takes more than that. And I think my students in the classroom taught me patience. I coached 2 sports when I was at Carolina High School. I coached varsity golf and girls tennis. And I found out one thing. All of my teammates and most sports that I had, they might have been minimal students. But once they got involved in the extracurricular activities, their grades improved, their behavior improved. Just the thing that they had a stake in the school at that point made them better students. I think what I need to do is to work harder at trying to find ways for kids to be able to participate in sports and other extracurricular activities. Kids having a stake in school make them stay in school. I want to make them taxpayers and not tax burdens. I want to make sure we have funds available for kids to be able to do these kind of sports. It's been known for years that young people who do not earn a high school diploma face more problems than kids that do. Dropouts are more likely to be unemployed. They live in poverty, be on public assistance, and now probably to be single parents. Our national and our local leaders have demanded that schools and communities and families take major steps to retain students, but also to reduce the dropout rate. Every 29 seconds, another student gives up at school, resulting in 1 million American dropouts a year, or 7,000 every day. The overall graduation rate for South Carolina for high school students were to increase, if the graduation rate increased by 1%, it would result in $1.4 billion in savings in the cost of offenders in our penal systems. I plan to work with the board to establish the most accurate data collection procedure when it comes to understanding our graduation rates for schools in Greenville County. As a teacher, we were always dreaded when AYP came around to find out what our school was going to be. We were going to be on academic probation, whatever. And we always wondered, sometimes the way they did the figures didn't add up all the time. And we were thinking things we could change it. I want to work for that. I also want to help the board to have GED students included in the graduation portion of that. My goal is to serve on the board and with the board in such a way that our children flourish, parents will be proud, and teachers will be supported, motivated, and go to school each day with the highest expectations of their students. Again, in the same tradition that Mrs. Leola Robinson Simpson, whose shoes I'm going to try my best to fill. I want to be a voice and an instrument for the greatest product and asset we have here in Greenville County, and that's our school students. Thank you very much.
We have someone that came in a little bit late after we got started. I introduced her once. She's on the ticket twice as a Democrat and a Working Family Party candidate, and that's Debbie Morrow. Sorry.
Thank you. I'm sorry, everybody, I was late. I was stuck in traffic, but thank you all very much for having us here tonight. I appreciate it, and I've enjoyed hearing all the words about the people who are committed to education, because education is the first thing that brought me into running for office. And so it's a very, very important thing to me. I had never considered getting into politics, as a matter of fact. But my name is Debbie Morrow, and I'm running for the 4th congressional seat, and my opponent is Trey Gowdy. So if he's your representative, you have a choice to vote for me. I'm offering an alternative. I, can't wait to get to Washington and support public education, support our public schools and teachers, because our tax money needs to go to what is benefiting most people. We don't need to have our tax money funneled off for anything else. We don't need layoffs of teachers. We need investments. I also look forward to supporting our seniors, make sure that they get their Medicare, Social Security preserved, their Medicaid, so important, and our veterans. My husband is a disabled veteran, and so we are very much attuned to how important it is to keep these benefits for those who have paid for them either through their service or paid into these taxes. It's also been a year where women's rights have been under assault. And so though I didn't set out to be the woman candidate, I'm very much attuned to how we need to keep our public policy in the 21st century and not be rolling back the clock. I've always been an activist for civil rights. Back into junior high school, I was demonstrating. I'm a native from Asheville, and at a time when it was a very unpopular thing to be speaking out for civil rights, and kind of a risky thing. People were being attacked in one way or another. I was never physically attacked as some of these people like John Lewis that we all admire, but it was a situation where my school and my family, came under some bad scrutiny from people, and I'll tell you, I kind of got the bug for it back then, and I was standing up for the right thing, and I've never lost it. So all through the years, I've been an activist for social causes, and I am proud to say that, as they mentioned, I'm also the candidate for the Working Families Party, because I think they've recognized that I do represent practical interests. My background is in some small family businesses, one a jewelry store and one a milk bottling plant, that very, very different things, but it's given me a sense of how important it is to support business and how important it is to have an economy that works. So everything, education, our rights, and making our economy work are things that I would bring to Washington, and I would very much appreciate your vote on November 6th or before. Absentee voting is a good possibility. I encourage it. And thank you very much for letting me speak tonight. And thank you all for everything you do.
I wasn't going to speak at all. I was just going to sit over there and enjoy it. I keep hearing about education, and education is very important to me. And I'm not running for any office, and I'm a big mouth. So, and if you listen to me on the radio, you can verify that. I'm just going to say some things, and I don't really care if it makes you mad, because I think it's the truth, and I think it's what we need to hear about education. My son was in kindergarten last year right here at Brushy Creek Elementary. Excellent school. I walk into the school, there's a Promethean board. Does anybody know what a Promethean board is? It's an awesome piece of technology. I want one for the house. We need one for the show. It's just awesome. It's like Surrey on steroids. It's great. And Brushy Creek Elementary has one in every single classroom, including kindergarten, including the gymnasium. So what will they use? I don't know. But it's in every room. Maybe the lunchroom. I think they have 2 in the lunchroom. My son is going to school in another city in South Carolina now. I'm not going to mention any names. He's in 1st grade now. Now, at Taylor's Elementary, there were 24 kids in that kindergarten class, and there was a helper and a teacher. So roughly, there was a teacher for about every 12 students. Where he is right now, he's struggling more. He's got 1 teacher for near 30 students, no technology, no Promethean boards in any of the classrooms, and it's a brand new school. It looks really nice. A lot of these new schools that we built look great. The problem is there's not enough teachers inside of them. It costs money to do that. Money! You have to take your wallet out and you have to invest like we did in the GI Bill. Congress just did a study over 40 years over the effects of the GI Bill, and they found that near $7 for every dollar that was spent, they gained back in taxes later, because people with an education get better jobs, they pay more taxes, everybody's happier. But you can't be a cheapskate right now. And I'm poor. And I'm going to pay more. I want to pay more. because I want to invest so my son is not poor like me. Okay? So, and I know everybody keeps saying, oh, it's not about the money, it's not about the money. There's some truth there. There's some waste that may be cut. But you know what, really, folks? It's about the daggone money. It really is about money. We need, you cannot, how can a first grade teacher teach 30 people at the same time? It's insanity. I'm educated. I taught martial arts from 4 years old to 70 years old for 20 years. And I'm telling you, you can't teach 30 people right at the same time with no help. It just cannot be done. I mean, you might have some super teacher, I don't know, but average teacher, no. Also, the teachers don't get paid enough. If you go and you get a degree right now, and I have a degree, I came right out of college making twice what the average teacher makes because they're not appreciated. But you send your kids to them for 8 hours a day. But you don't appreciate them enough to pay them? You have to pull the money out of your wallet. I'm talking to conservatives out there who are sitting there under their breath right now saying, it's true. And I can say that because I'm not running for anything. Now, I'm thinking about running in a couple of years, and I probably won't say this then. But I can say that now. And I like this motto about education. We had so many people come up here. We were talking about crime. We were talking about better jobs, economy, and from the signs showing the debt, math. But it all goes back to education. And I believe that nearly every problem in the world will be solved by better education. There's a reason why people over in the Middle East are putting bombs in cars. They're not bad people, they're just people. But they're ignorant people. And I don't mean that as an insult to Middle Eastern people. When I say ignorant, and that's different than stupid. For those of you that don't know. Ignorant means you don't know something. You're ignorant about something. I'm ignorant about a lot of things. Probably for what I'm saying right now for everybody. But there's a reason that people do this all over the world, and it's a lack of education. And in the United States, we're not number one in education. It's a lie. If somebody tells you that, it's a lie. We're not. In Greenville County, yes, it's true. Greenville County has a lot of exceptional schools, but Greenville County also has a lot of exceptional money. A lot of rich people live here. And they pay a lot in local taxes, and that's why they have a lot of the things that they do. So if you're going to take anything out of this Greenville County exceptionalism, it's the fact that they have more money, they do a lot better. Let's just expand that. There's schools that I've been to, and Eric and I go on and on about this education thing because it's really important to us. And we've been to schools that like another candidate said, is shameful. We can't expect these, and then we're going to call them deadbeats. When they do drop out of school, we're going to call them because they're in a situation where there's schools right now that you can graduate with a 4.0 and not do well enough on the SAT to get into a college. But we're going to call them deadbeats and takers. Isn't that what one of our candidates just said? Half this country, bunch of deadbeats and takers. Let's educate all the people and we'll see how many deadbeats and takers we've got. Not just keep them down, keep them down. Let's pull everybody up, and it takes money to do that.
Do I hear a draft Jason Rogers call in the room? Folks, let's give all the candidates a hand for coming out. I appreciate all of you coming. This is what it's about, being informed in order to vote smart. One other thing, if you look at your sample ballot, on the last page, there's no names. There's a question on the ballot. Now, I'm not going to try to say the wording of the ballot in the legalese. Basically, if you want the lieutenant governor and the governor to run on the same ticket, like most of the country, like president and vice president, you would vote yes. If you think they should continue to be separate, you would vote no. And we could have a Democratic governor and a Republican lieutenant governor or vice versa, which we have had recently. So that's on the ballot. Make sure when you're voting you keep that in mind and you go to the last page and push push that button for whichever one you want. You've got information here today, and that's where we set this up, but don't just stop here with what you heard today. There were some candidates who weren't able to be here. You want to investigate some of what was said today. Were all the facts accurate? We found in recent national debates that not all the facts were accurate in everything that was said. So it's always good to do the research. One thing we talk about on the show all the time is make sure you just don't buy what someone tells you because they tell you, including us. I mean, Jason likes to say he's right, but
98, 99%.
do some more research. We encourage you to go to our website. We try to put up information about the candidates, about the subjects that we're interested in today, canIGetAwordIn.com. All the candidates, or most of the candidates, have literature on the back tables here if you'd like to pick that up. You can also pick up information from the League of Women Voters about how to join them. Folks, this is a great, great, great resource in not only our state, but around the country. So I encourage you to check that out. We've recorded this, so we're hoping that in a day or so we'll have this all up on YouTube and on our website, so that if you want to go back and look at what your candidate, your district said, you'll be able to do that. Once again, thank you for being here. You're dismissed. The candidates are going to be here. Come and talk to them, ask them your specific questions. Have a great evening.
Here's my favorite guy. The guy who's the
Oh.
I liked him.
Yeah,
He had two very strong points.